Hi, this is Neil Good with the Good Law Group. Today I'm going to be talking about vocational rehabilitation and Social Security disability. So vocational rehabilitation really means rehabilitating you to go back to your vocation or another vocation. Social Security has a program that they call the trial work period where you're allowed to do this. This is one of these things where I would say you're playing with fire. They don't actually tell you all of the parameters and they're very confusing. So what do I mean by that? So the most confusing part about it is that if you're over the ticket to work amount, they count that as months working and you're allowed 9 months of work every 5 years. So let's say you do it for 8 months and then 3 years later you do it for 2 months, you could lose your benefits. The other thing about it is the amounts of money. A lot of people think that it's the SGA amount, and that stands for substantial gainful activity. That's not the amount. You have to be very careful with this. They have a separate amount for the ticket to work amount. So in 2022, the ticket to work amount was $970. The SGA amount was $1,350. So some people think if they're below the $1,350 that the months don't count. So you have to be below the $970. So that's one thing that's very tricky. And if you call a local office, they very often give you the wrong number. So you have to look up the number yourself. Another thing they tell you is while you are on the ticket to work, they're not going to do a medical review. What that doesn't tell you is that if they've started one, they can complete it. And more importantly, when you're done, they can start one. So why is that important? Well, because now you've given them evidence of your ability to work. So let's just say you work 8 months at a job that involves a lot of lifting. Well, if you only have to prove that you can't do a little bit of lifting and you've done it for 8 months, they could do a medical review and say, you proved you could work at this level though. So it's important to understand that even though they're not doing a review then, they can do one after, and then they can use this as evidence against you after you've completed your attempt if you fail. So I'm going to read you a statement, which I don't usually do, from the Social Security website. During a trial work period, a beneficiary receiving Social Security disability benefits on the basis of his or her own earning history may test his or her ability to work and still be considered disabled. We do not consider services performed during the trial work period as showing that this disability has ended until the services have been performed in at least 9 months, not necessarily consecutive in a rolling 60-month period. In 2022, any month in which earnings exceeded $970 is considered a month of services for an individual's trial work period. In 2023, this monthly amount increases to $1,050. The trial work period does not apply to SSI benefits. So the first thing you need to understand is this is only for people who are getting SSD, but more importantly, it's a rolling 9 months. So any time during 60 months, if you go over the trial work amount, they take you off of benefits. The other thing that, again, I want you to understand is that even though they don't do a medical review while you're in a trial work period, they can do one after, and more importantly, they can use what you did as evidence against you. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for listening today. You can contact us with any questions at the information provided below.